going to be showing you how you can edit your videos in Descript, or your podcast episodes in Descript, because I find that this is super easy, particularly if you are going to be putting out audio and video of your podcast episode. And also if you're a little bit concerned about creating edited versions of your podcast episodes using waveforms, say if you're not too confident doing that, or the idea really scares you, Descript is a proper game changer in that respect. So I already recorded this on my iPhone and I have uploaded it to Descript. Now, just for complete transparency, you can see up here it's telling me how much transcription I have remaining. I only use Descript for the Lazy Girl's I only use Descript for the Lazy Girl's Guide to Podcasting, because then I can do a number of edits on those episodes, because they're only 10 minutes or less per episode. So I find that over the course of a month, I have more than enough to be able to use the free version of Descript. However, if you've got longer episodes, you might need to look at upgrading. But in the short term, I would say if you're brand new to Descript, then start out with their free plan, have a play around with it and get used to it. I always suggest that with any software or tools, is try out the free version before you commit to spending, because you never know, somebody might rave about a tool but it just doesn't work for you for whatever reason. So what I'm going to do is show you how you can edit this and also add in the subtitles to appear in the video, and how you can also cut that up for repurposing on social media. So as I said, this is just so super easy. So what I'm going to start with actually is this bit at the top. I don't want to start with hello and welcome back. In fact, I'm actually just going to delete that straight, so it just starts with welcome back, and you'll see that it's deleted it, and that is where the video now starts. I've turned off the sound just for the purpose of this. So what you want to be doing is just going through and checking that everything is written as it should be, checking for any spelling errors. The spelling errors are really important for when you're creating your captions. And so you just want to read through and see like there's an there, might want to get rid of that, for example. Oh look, and then see, like, I've made a little explanation here, like I've said, oh no, this is absolute crap. So I'm going to delete that section, because clearly I was having a moment then. And then let's keep going through. I don't like how it says cause, for example. I would have said because. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that, see how I just highlighted that, and I'm going to click correct, and I'm just going to add in the word because it clearly picked up on cause, but I don't want to say that. And you can see here as well, for example, it said now this does require a little bit legwork, so that should be, it doesn't need a full stop there, so I can delete that, and I actually would have said of legwork, so I can just add in of. So basically I'm going to go through and create and make sure that everything is sorted. Again, how you can say AI, I was clearly talking about otter.ai there, so make sure that is all sorted. Now what I'm going to do, like I said, take your time to go through and do that actually properly. There's still lots and lots that needs sorting in this, but just for the purpose of showing you how to then add in the captions, let's just move that along so I don't look quite so, oh gosh, I keep looking drunk on all of these. There we go. Right, I'm going to click these 4 squares up here, and I'm going to come down to where it says captions and click on that. And then what you're going to do is select the option that you like best. So these are just, and you can just hover over them. That one's not coming up for some reason, but you can just hover over them and it'll show you what they look like. And just, have a go, see what you like the best. It can be quite exciting kind of thing when you get all of these new options, but what I'd really implore you to do is think about your your reader, you know, somebody reading the text, and your viewer, your listener, to make sure that it is as accessible and user friendly as possible. So like my favourites, I like outline in green, for example, but this is probably my favourite is just the classic. If I was doing something really, really short, then probably one word, but for the purpose of an entire episode, that is going to get really, really tiresome to follow. So I really like karaoke classic, so I'm just going to click on that one. And fundamentally, the editing process is exactly the same, so regardless of which one you select. But I'm just going to go with this one here, and you can see it's come up with different options along the side. So instantly what I can do is I can change my font. It doesn't give you too many options, but you can still get it something closer to your brand. But what I would recommend is just keeping it as easy to read as possible. Remember, people are going to be skimming potentially and trying to watch your face as it goes along, so you just want it as accessible as possible. So nothing, I really would not go for scripted fonts really small, just something nice and clear. Even if it's maybe not as aesthetically pleasing, I'd go for something as clear and possible as you can. Now you can then customize as much as you want. So fill, I can change the colouring. These are for the words that are already spoken. I actually quite like the white, so I'm just going to leave it like that. But if your background was quite white, you might want to change it to black or another colour, which is going to really pop out there. You can add in a border if I want, and again you can change the thickness, however that's going to look. And again, what I would say is don't get too excited with it looking too jazzy. You just want it as accessible as possible, but I don't actually want the border on there. Background, again, you can add in a background. Let's say if you've got loads of different colours going on, or you're jumping around a lot, and you're not finding a text colour which is working with multiple backgrounds, you can then change this. I'd be tempted to avoid red in either your text or your background, just because people who have special educational needs, particularly dyslexia, statistically, I'm not saying this is for everyone who's got dyslexia obviously, but statistically red is one of the hardest colours to read, so I'd just be bearing in mind that as well. Your live text, how do you want it to look? I just keep it as captions, but you can switch some different settings around there as well, and you can also change how you want your live word to look. And with all of these, you can add in, you can change it to your hex colour, so you can change it to your, your brand colours, but this one is mine, and I don't think that looks it's not very obvious. So even though these brighter colours are not on brand for me, I do prefer to use them, just because I feel like it really helps my wording and text stand out there. And then you can also toggle if you want a shadow on or off, and then you can play with that as well. Again, colours, you really can make this look however you want it to look, but like I said, I wouldn't get too caught up, and just keep it as accessible as you possibly can make it. And you can also add in different animations on certain parts of the text if you want to, but again, I would not get too bogged down on that, because the more that people are just looking at your animations, the less they're actually taking in of the information. But it depends what you're creating. But that is how you are going to edit. That is how you're going to edit your script in Descript, and also how you are going to put the captions in. What you can then do is hit publish. And once you've hit publish here, you can download the entire video and then upload it onto Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, literally wherever you want to upload it. Now, if there's a little section of the video that you want to do for repurposing, and I'm not going to go too much into repurposing, because this, repurposing is almost like a whole course in itself, which I'll probably come on to creating on another course. But let's say that there was a little section where you thought that is absolute gold, that will work really, really well as like a 10-second snippet for TikTok, for example. And I'm just going to grab this one just as a random example. I'm just going to highlight that paragraph, or it doesn't even need to be the whole paragraph. It could just be, part of it. But you get my point. I'm going to highlight this paragraph, And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to press duplicate to a new composition. Up here, you'll see where it says creating show notes. That's still my overall one. And then I come down and it says clips from creating show notes. I'd recommend naming these so that it's something memorable to you, that you can call it clip 1, clip 2, whatever it is, or really go into a lot more depth. But from that, if you then click on it, then you can publish and again download just that clip for repurposing on social media.